Hi everyone, and welcome to Building Skills and Understanding Careers. My name is Audrey Walls, and I am a part of the Career Services staff here at Business Career Services. And today we'll be presenting on a basic overview of what you need to know to get your career started, especially for economics majors. So we'll cover our services at BCS, which are available online this semester, how to get involved and build skills as an economics major, the most common economics job titles and where to search for them, and lastly, how to set up an appointment with BCS if you need to. So now that we have a roadmap, let's go ahead and get started. First up is an overview of our services here at Business Career Services. If you don't know us already, our physical location is B1102 in Sneed Hall, right around the corner from Bleecker Street Cafe. But for this semester, we're offering all of our services virtually, which means appointments, programs, career fairs, all of it is online. Our one-on-one appointments can cover literally anything related to your career search, from reviewing resumes and cover letters to job searching and career exploration, right up to practicing interviews and then accepting those job offers once you get them. You can also make appointments with us about things like setting up your LinkedIn profile, using Handshake, or even going to grad school if that's something you're thinking about pursuing. Some programs in the second column that we run outside of one-on-one appointments are our Monday morning This Week in Sneed Hall emails, electronic resume review using our new software system called VMock, posting jobs and internships in Handshake all the time, and using VCU BizConnect as a way to connect with alumni and the rest of the business community, as well as our own fancy YouTube playlist down there at the bottom that has videos for just about every topic, including a series that we did recently on job searching during COVID-19. So last but definitely not least in the column all the way over to the side, our fall career fair is coming up and it's going to be held virtually for this semester. So it'll be on September 15th from 11 to 3. There's going to be group events on Zoom as well as one-on-one time slots where you can talk with employers and recruiters, the same as you would if you were walking up to a table at a career fair. You are required to register ahead of time and choose the companies that you're interested in for the one-on-one sessions. So we're able to schedule a time slot that's just for you, which is pretty cool because that means that if you're interested in a specific company, we can absolutely guarantee that you'll be able to talk with them if you act soon enough and let us know that you're interested. You won't have to elbow anybody at the career fair to kind of get ahead of them and make sure that you talk to whoever you want to talk to. Alright, so next up, let's talk about some things you can do specifically as an economics major to really amplify your experience while you're at school. In this slide, we've put information in 3 buckets: on campus, on your own, and through internships. For the on-campus column, think about joining the experimental lab for economics and business research. You can volunteer to help participate in experimental sessions that focus on decision-making skills in business and research methods. Faculty and graduate students also use this lab for their own IRB research, so if that interests you, you can contact a faculty member that's listed on the site and see if there's a way you can get involved with their research. If education and community involvement is more your speed, then you could try the VCU Center for Economic Education, which pairs with Central Virginia K-12 schools to really increase awareness and instruction around economics education. They do things like including like a Stark Market game and a mini economy market day for the K-12 students. There's a specific class you can take if teaching economics is something that appeals to you career-wise, something you might want to do later. Similarly, getting involved with the Supplemental Instruction, or SI, or the Campus Learning Center, or the CLC, on campus is a really great way to increase your knowledge of economics materials and help out others. So these positions at SI and the CLC are often on campus and paid when they're doing both in-person and virtual appointments for this semester. The Writing Center at VCU also offers paid positions that take on writing projects for all kinds of classes, even the business ones, so consider doing that as well. Finally, with student organizations, definitely join up the Student Economics Association and also consider taking on the role of a treasurer in any club or any organization that interests you. In the middle, in the On Your Own column, consider joining Omicron Delta Epsilon, which is the honors fraternity for economics students. And we have a chapter here at VCU, as well as other organizations that are on or off campus that have really great opportunities and cheap student fees. Richmond Association for Business Economics, American Economic Association, and the Virginia Economic Development Association are just a few of the ones to check out. So the student fees usually range somewhere between $20 and $50. So you can say that the AEA has $24 student fees, which is really cheap. And then the Virginia Economic Development Association has student fees that are only $50 for the year, which is really cheap. Other things to think about in terms of online learning. So check out MIT, which has OpenCourseWare, which is their website where they post class content and videos from a number of real MIT faculty-taught classes. They have a whole section just for economics. So think about that, as well as things like LinkedIn Learning, of course. They have instructions and content for things like Tableau, data presentations, kind of learning how to manipulate those softwares that you might be using not only in your economics major, but after you're done and looking at jobs as well. So in the last column here, internships are the most common and go-to ways that we think of gaining quote-unquote experience in the field. Of course, internships can be paid or unpaid, depending on where you look. And although most paid internships start around $12 or $15 an hour, internships usually run for a semester. So you're thinking fall semester, spring semester, summer. They can often average around 10 to 20 hours a week during the school year, but sometimes those hours can be more over the summer, especially if you aren't taking classes or if you're interning someplace that's a location other than Richmond. So kind of if the internship is the only thing on your plate, they may ask for more of your time, which means that you get to dive into more projects than if you were doing a part-time internship and doing part-time school at the same time. You can kind of see it going both ways. It just depends on how you want to structure out your summer for that especially. And one thing that's really cool to note, especially for our economics folks and those heading into finance fields, is that the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond is literally in our backyard, and it has its own student and recent graduates recruiting program that you can check out. And we've listed that here as well as something for you to think about. So lastly, if we're thinking about internships and where to find them, that also means we're going to want to talk about common job titles, which is our next slide. So most common economics job titles, we're going to think about what buckets or job families these fall into. We've broken them up again into 3 different categories. So we've got data and analysis, finance related, and the and more section, because we all know that economics can really touch and cover a lot of different fields and career paths. So in the first one, data and analysis is exactly what it sounds like. It's number crunching, information gathering, and looking at the governmental side of economics. And that's why we've listed things out here like public policy analyst or intelligence analyst, as well as doing things like budgeting or operations, or even information scientist, or starting off as a research assistant and kind of getting your foot in the door that way, depending on what the research is. In the second column here for finance related, these folks are going to be looking more at the money managing part of economics, especially banks and lenders. So that's why we've included things like loan officer, financial analyst, or financial examiner in this section. However, if you have a knack for finance and you enjoy working with people or the idea of having clients of your own, being a personal financial advisor could also be a career path that's a little different from the rest. And then in our last section, as you probably already know, economics touches on so many different fields and experiences. So this last column is just a sample of some of the other ways you can really take an economics degree and do just about anything with it. Law school, journalism if you have a knack for writing, being an underwriter, getting into urban planning, or a policy associate if working with government, or maybe getting your MPA, which is a Master's of Public Administration. If those things sound good to you, economics is still a really good way to get there. Economics is a really unique blend of both data and writing, so it can take you many different ways. So if you feel like one of these doesn't necessarily fall completely into your ideal job category, think about ways you can experiment with other things that sound interesting to you. Meet with your advisors, meet with a career advisor, talk about the things that you enjoy in your economics degree and how you can do more of that once you're done with school. So our next slide is where to search for these jobs. These websites are really our holy trinity, 1, 2, and 3, Handshake, LinkedIn, and Indeed. You can look other places like Glassdoor, Snagajob, Monster, or even Craigslist if you want to, but those postings tend to be less vetted and less filtered, so you may have to wade through a lot of slush to find something meaningful. Handshake, LinkedIn, and Indeed all have highly customizable filtering tools that really allow you to laser point your job or internship search if you want to. You can also make appointments with us at BCS specifically to go over job searching or using these platforms if you like, which brings me to my next slide. How to make appointments. So if you log into Handshake, you'll see a toolbar at the top that looks a lot like this one up here. And you'll want to click on Career Center where that green arrow is headed. And then you'll have a series of prompts that will ask you to choose your appointment type. Then you'll fill out a series of questions that'll ask you what day or time you want to make the appointment for, if you have a specific career coach that you want to meet with, what topics you might want to cover, so on and so forth. You'll fill all that out and you'll hit submit and get a confirmation email from Handshake pretty fast. So check your email for that, and the person who you're meeting with will also be in contact with you if you're meeting over phone or Zoom, which is how we're doing appointments this semester. So our next slide is other contact information you should know. Like I mentioned at the beginning, our physical location is B1102 in Sneed Hall, but we are taking appointments through Zoom and phone for the whole semester, and that can happen anytime Monday through Friday from 9 to 4:30 in the afternoon. You can call us at 804-827-1801, or you can drop us an email at bizcareer@vcu.edu. Our website is easily found using this address, and the School of Business main website has us linked in there too, or you can just Google us. And lastly, you can follow us on social media for fun stuff and some good information as well, because we're on Instagram at SneedLife. And that is a wrap for me and for this presentation. So thank you so much for letting us be a part of your class today, and seriously let us know if there's anything we can do to help you out career-wise. Working with students is easily all of our most favorite part of the job, except for making presentations like this, of course. So please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. We hope you have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to be excellent to each other, and we hope to see y'all in for an appointment sometime soon. Thanks, and have a good one.